One thing that I realized early when I first got turned on to the bigger gain system was that it was an actual process. Throughout my life, I had gotten into shape and gotten out of shape and didn't really understand why things happened to me in my life. I like to feel good and be healthy, but sometimes there would be from time to time where I'd get off track, and I really didn't know how to get back on track, and I couldn't really articulate what was going on because I understood deep down in my heart what I wanted, whether it was from financially, making bad decisions to, making good choices when it came to, my physical fitness or, my business in general. And when I first got turned on to the bigger gain system, really where my big ahas were was that it was everything that I had done up to that point in my life, whether it was success or whether it was failure, there was actually a place that I could go back and pinpoint where I had applied these principles unconsciously or consciously to either have been put in a situation where I was actually getting in my own way, or where I have actually went around obstacles or achieved things, but I didn't know exactly what was happening in my life. And what I found is once I got turned on to the system, everything changed. And what I mean by that is little things that would happen in your normal day, day-to-day life. And I shared with Ken a story one day. Every time I talk to him, I give him a story about how I applied the bigger gains principles to some area of my life to kind of give me freedom or get me from not being captive. And an example would be, and it's a funny story, but it is what it is. I had a washing machine in my lake house for years and years and years that we could not use the hot water functionality of the machine. And through the, you don't realize this, but the captivity that was taking place was every time we wanted to go somewhere, year after year, month after month, we'd have to wait for the washing machine to go through this certain cycle. And one day I remember coming to the seek and ask, and I got online and I just started seeking and asking questions. And believe it or not, I actually fixed the entire process by just going through this formula. I had the desire to actually have my very, very expensive washing machine operate like it was designed to, but I had not taken the time to go through the steps. And so it was that was compounding over time with, friction in my relationship with my wife, because obviously, we'd be ready to leave and then we'd have this entire washing machine give us an error code F. And anyway, it's complicated, but I just started applying Ken's system that he had showed me to every area, from physical fitness. I wanted to be more consistent with staying in shape, and I realized a lot of the things through the bigger gain system, how to become consistent, and the things that were holding me back or holding me captive in those areas of my life, I was able to proactively get free. And I can say 100% it was because I understood. He had given me a clear path of what I needed to do, whether it was, if you wanted to be captive or you wanted to be released from captivity, whether it was in your finances, your physical fitness, whether it was in your relationships, your work. He gave me a roadmap where I could literally take a certain set of principles and apply them. And with almost 100%, in fact, I have not found a situation in any area of my life where I haven't been able to use this formula and either come up with the solution or get more free in those areas of my life. One thing I can say about bigger gains that was really an aha moment for me is I was in a special place in my life where I was ready for this. I had the desire. So I had already been working on things, but Ken actually uttered something to me that he was just telling me a story. And if you know Ken like I know Ken, he's good at telling stories, and he has you like captive into his next word. And he was sharing with me some of the things that had went into the bigger gain system right at the beginning, and the real why of how it all came together. And I think the one word that I left with that I could really say, I want that word in my life, was the word freedom. Freedom was something that was very, very important to him, and I did not know how important it was to me. I would say it in different ways. I hadn't articulated it down to the word just freedom, but I think that's what it came down to, is he gave me a kind of a desire to become free. And not just free in, my finances, but freedom throughout all areas of my life. And I truly believe that if somebody is held captive, whether it's in any of those given areas that we've discussed, whether it's physical fitness, finances, business, relationships, that if you look into this system and you apply it, that you can become free in any area that you choose, as long as you have the desire. And it's giving me a tool, no different than a golfer uses a driver and a putter and a golf ball in order to play the game of golf. Bigger Gains gives me the tools to play the game of life. And so it allows me to get from point A to point Z, which, I know where I want to go. It's how do I get there? It gives me the turn by turn. It makes sure, it ensures that I get to where I want to go. And I think that, that's what it's given me. It's given me the roadmap and given me the tools to take on any area of my life, any constraints or any obstacles or anything that might get in the way. It's given me the tools and the resources and, more importantly, the knowledge on how to get to where I want to go.